Uh, I don't know. I don't know. You know, I'm sorry. There's something been distracting me, and I'm just going to go back and deal with it right now. I just want to get the name. I want to make double sure that I read this correctly, because this is actually worth answering to. It's about to wind me up. So let me just get this done. Yeah, that's it. We have somebody in our comments section called V. Calzoni. When I started to talk about Nazi Germany, he said that the Jews started the war with Germany. First of all, you can get the F out. You know what? You can get the fuck out of my comment stream right now. Okay, you can just leave. I don't know if you're a follower, and I don't know if you're a member, but if you are, you're getting your money refunded, and you're getting banned from my Facebook page. This kind of thing is not going to be tolerated on this show, in this vicinity, anywhere at all, period. Ever. Okay? Ever. Get the fuck out of my show. I don't want you here, and I don't want you anywhere near me. Let me tell you something, you miserable low-life swine, you miserable rotten piece of shit. Let me just tell you one thing, okay? I've studied the Nazi death camps in a fair amount of detail. Treblinka is about the size of a freeway rest stop. They killed about 1 million people there. They killed a smaller number in Belzec and a smaller number in Sobibor. But all of these places were tiny little places, and people came in there by the thousands, and they were executed. Now, I don't care if you like it or not, and I don't care if it upsets you or not, and I don't care if it offends you or not, okay? You can go straight to the devil, which is where you belong. Those people were murdered in cold blood. There's 100,000 tons of evidence, and if you want to come in here with a conspiracy theory about 9/11 or the moon landing, I'll talk about that. But you come into this room with this business about the Jews started this whole thing and that this whole thing was just a fraud and a fiction. I want to meet you in person. I want to meet you in person because I have a few words to say to you. I'm not going to let those people who were murdered in cold blood just lie on the ground and listen to somebody like you make these kind of absolutely asinine, ridiculous, disgusting comments. I would like to meet you in person so that I can punch you in your face. And that's what those people deserve, you know. That's what they deserve. That's what those innocent children, those little men and women and children who were put into those camps and who were taken off of these trains and lined up and shaved and had their gold teeth pulled out and then put into a gas chamber with a big Star of David over the top, walked down this little chute that they had at Treblinka, they had it at Belzec, they had it at Sobibor, and it was called the Stairway to Heaven, and every single one of those little children and women and men went down that abattoir chute, went into those buildings, got locked into gas chambers, were asphyxiated, and then they were simply murdered, taken out into a pit and buried. And if you think I'm going to sit here and let you get away with that kind of comment on my territory or my dime, you have another thing coming, you miserable low-life bastard son of a bitch. If I ever run into you in person, ever, you and I are, one of us is going to the hospital. One of us is going to the hospital and the other one is going to jail. And if I can find a way to ban you, if I can find out who you are, if I can get your actual, here's what I'd love to debate with you in person. We're not going to debate, Calzoni, okay? We're not going to debate. If I see you in person, I'm going to knock your teeth down your throat. Understand? That's what people like you deserve. You don't deserve debate. You don't deserve debate. You don't deserve commentary. You don't deserve reaction. You don't deserve anything. You deserve to go to hell. You deserve to go to hell. That's what you deserve. Oh, you're also a 9/11 truther? Imagine my surprise. Imagine my surprise that the one thing that everybody saw right in front of their eyes didn't happen. What the hell is wrong with you, man? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? What is broken with you? What part of your personality and your mental structure is so defective, that you cannot face this truth? I don't know what it is. I don't know what's wrong with you, but you know what? I don't care. I think you belong in prison or a mental institution, frankly. I really will not hear it. Oh, their heads were shaved because of lice. Really? Really? Their heads were shaved because of lice? Really? Where did these ghettos go? Where did they go? Where did the Warsaw Ghetto go? Where did these ghettos go? I know where they went, and you know where they went, and everybody else knows where they went. Not here, not on my dime, not with me, okay? I know the history of how this stuff works. You're dealing with the wrong person here. I'm not a guy to go, well, maybe the evidence is a little bit good. No. You want to hear this history? Here's how it started, okay? There was a little camp called Kelmo. Kelmo was in Poland. Kelmo was essentially just a building someplace. And at Kelmo, the Germans started to do something that they'd started a few years earlier with this euthanasia program. In Kelmo, they had a couple of vans and they backed them up into a building. You could see the exhaust pipes coming out of the vans and into the building. And in Kelmo, they started to kill people seriously by the thousands. But Kelmo, of course, is an existing structure, and Kelmo is just not really, very efficient. So they construct something called 3 death camps as a result of the assassination of Reinhard Heydrich, and they called it Operation Reinhard. And those 3 camps were Belzec, and then Sobibor, and then Treblinka. And in Treblinka alone, 900,000 people were executed, 6,000 a day. 6,000 a day. And you know why we know this? Because they're not here anymore. So where are they? Did Hitler send them to the Caribbean? Is that what he did? Did he put them on troop transports and send them to the Caribbean? Where did those people go, you miserable lowlife son of a bitch? Where are they? Where are all those people's moms and dads and family? Where are they? Where'd they go? Did Hitler send them to the moon? Did he fly them to a vacation package? Where are they? Where did they go? They all didn't have their life shaved off. I'll tell you something. The reason, by the way, that they shaved off their hair, you miserable lowlife son of a bitch, is not to clean off their lice. It's because they could sell the hair, like they could sell the teeth, and like they could sell all the stuff they stole out of their clothes. These people would go into these camps with coins or jewels sewed into their clothes, and they got all of those too. You miserable lowlife bastard. You miserable scumbag. You horrible piece of shit. You have the audacity to sit here in this day and age while people were... I will show you a picture of a gas chamber, and the walls are solid concrete. Solid concrete. In fact, I can find it right now. And there are nothing but scratch marks where people are trying to climb out of a gas chamber. I do not know what's wrong with you. I don't know what's wrong with you. I really don't know what's wrong with you. But I do know that you have a sickness and that you have a disease. You have a very bad disease. You have an infection of evil. You have evil in you. You have evil in you. And you have the kind of evil in you that was the same evil that caused all of this to happen in the first place. I can't believe you're allowed to live in this country in this day and age, honestly. I really can't. But I can tell you one thing. If there's a way for me to figure out how to ban you, I'm not going to stop the show and drop everything to ban you from the comment section. But I will tell you this. If there is a way to ban you, you're gone. And get back to my show and relax. Fuck you, man. You go back to hell and relax down there, okay? Go back to hell where you came from and relax down there. If you think I'm going to sit here and take this kind of crap from a measly, rotten, low-life, miserable, pampered... You have got another thing coming, dude. You got another thing coming if you think I'm going to relax after this. You miserable, cheap, rotten, vile, moral-free midget. You corrupted, evil, tiny, weak, pathetic, sad, sad little troll. Go back to where you came from, and I don't ever want to see you around here again, ever. And if you think I'm going to respond to you anymore, you're out of your mind. I'm done with you. I'm done with you. Explain the windows in the gas chambers. Why were they not broken out by the prisoners? So that's your answer, right? 6 million people disappear without a trace, and glass this thick isn't broken by aged people with their bare knuckles, therefore it didn't happen? Pathetic. Do you even realize just how pathetic your intellectual argument is? Forget about how evil it is. Don't you even realize how pathetic and weak you sound when you say, why didn't they break the glass that was the thickness of welder's glass with their bare knuckles? Really? Really? That's the reason? 6 million people disappear, 6 million Jews, another 6 million people disappear. All of these things exist. All the records, the Germans, are Germans. That's the thing about the Germans, unfortunately for the Germans, is that the Germans are Germans. They have a name for every single person, they have a name for every single number, and they have the train schedules, and they have the delivery dates and all that other stuff. You miserable, low-life son of a bitch. Get away from this office, get away from this, hover and click to boot. Is that all I have to do? Great. That's fantastic. I'll wait till he comes back. Oh yeah, there it is. Thanks. Yeah, come on, Calzone, give me some more reasons it didn't happen. Is it because, what? What's another reason that it didn't happen? The trains couldn't run fast enough, or maybe there wasn't enough military force, or maybe there wasn't a secret police to round them up, or maybe there's no evidence of the death camps, or maybe there's no signs of the gas chambers, because all this is true. You know it. You know it's true, you miserable low-life son of a bitch. I will not stand for it. I will not stand for it here. Come on back. Come on back. No, I like debating the troll. I'm not debating the troll, by the way. I'm not debating him. You may notice I'm not debating him. He came up with all these, like I said. The only reason I picked the glass thing was to show how pathetic and weak these people are. How weak. Mentally weak, evil, simple, stupid, bad, awful people. Accomplices to murder is what you are. You're an accomplice to murder. You are doing your level best to make sure that the murderers that committed the most horrible crime in history don't pay for it and that the victims do. What a miserable, horrible, wretched, low individual you must be. I would really like to know more about you personally. I really would. I'd really like to know more about you personally. I'd like to know what happens to somebody, how something can go so wrong to create a creature like you. I'm actually very curious about this. I really am. I'd really like to know how something can go so wrong in a human being to create somebody like you. Now, looks he's being a little quiet up there. If I see him again, I'll ban him. So there you go. Sorry about the language, but there are times when language that needs to be used. So, there you go. He's gone. Yeah, imagine my surprise. Yeah, so this is probably the worst thing that's happened to Vinny for a while. You know, I'll tell you what, something there, jackass. If you think this was a little rough, just imagine what it's like to be sent down that chute, stark naked, freezing cold, with people screaming and your children clinging to you and wondering what's happening. And then figure out if this is a bad day that you're having, you miserable lowlife son of a bitch. Yes, of course I try to attack Ted Cruz because he's a Christian. As I try to attack Ted Cruz because he's anything. I would like to make a comment about the natural born citizen thing, however.